Looks like everyone's here. Recently, our school's Vanguard Club has been officially recognized. So, today we'll have a kickoff for the upcoming V-Nation. What's wrong, everyone? But that's Yuki's role, isn't it? What? Isn't the president supposed to be me? Of course not, because this club was established by Yuki. Right, Rasen? Right, Gaku? You're asking me? Why did his clothes randomly change? And I get, oh man, that's funny. See? No objections. So the president is still me. Yuki. How about we decide the president wants to fight? You don't have any complaints with that, right? Fine. I'll make you regret it. Let's do this. Okay. So we actually get to finally see Kisato play a game of modern, not old ass vintage Vanguard. We're gonna go first here. And I've got myself a brand new deck. So since everyone on our team, I shouldn't say everyone on our team, since we have 2 Keter Sanctuary players and 1 Sokea, 1 Lyrical player, I figured we would, it'd be kind of boring to have a third Keter Sanctuary player, so I swapped out and I'm using here Arkwright. So it'll be Branklight, since that has not been really represented basically at all, right? I don't think there's a single member of Tetsugatsuka that plays Brankgate, because the 5 of them right now, it's what? Yeah, because there's 2 dark states, right? There's Masaru and Tatsuki, right? So they're both dark states. Mika is Lyrical. Wow, I got both of these. That's pretty nice. Gosetsu is Sokea, and then there's a 5th member that I'm blanking. Oh, Doji is Dragon Empire, right? None of them playing Brankgate. So figured I might as well give that a shot here. This is a deck that I was really excited for once it came out in set 3 of Divines, and then never really played it. I played it once, built it, didn't have the best outcome, and yeah, just never played it again until recently. I kind of fixed it up a little bit, and basically the list that I'm using here in the game is the same list that I used in I'm using an IRL, right, that I just built recently, literally a few days. I forgot that I went first. A few days before Dear Days came out, I put this list together, right? Just sort of trying to update some of my decks, but I haven't had a chance to actually play it. So I guess we'll try it out here. So as we saw last time, he actually plays the MLB, but it is unfortunately, this is giving me shades, ironically, of Yuki from Dear Days 1, because she used to play, I think the same ride line. No, she had Blaster Javelin, and then she would ride into Blaster Dark, which was kind of cool. And then she would, maybe I should do that. I guess I could put that in my ride line, to make it more lore accurate, because right now I'm using the Olden Grade 2, but I could technically use the Olden Grade 1 and then use Blaster Dark. I just won't have a card on board to use for the effect. But that's a lie, because Olden's ride line gives me 1, right? Even if I whiff the search. So as long as I have different grades, I can do it. So that's kind of cool. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, because she used to have a voice line and everything or a ride animation, I should say, for Blaster Dark. Don't know why Blaster Dark specifically, but we are in a pretty shitty spot here, since they ended up rushing us, and I didn't check any triggers, and I couldn't really guard with a lot of cards in my hand, considering one of them is a PG and whatnot. So we have kind of the best and worst hand at the same time. Right, it's one of those hands where it's full of pieces, but can't really do anything with them. Alright, so at least this time we got a bunch of monster hits here, but unfortunately I can't do a lot with these. So I can at the very least add this to hand, put the other one into the drop, which I can then put into the order zone, so that when I get to grade 3, I can actually do something. And I can actually call out the other guy, the promo guy, if I wanted to do some damage here. But I guess I could just use this thing. I can also call this out, bounce it back to hand. What's the requirement for this? So now it's 5k shield, or sorry, 10k shield, which is nice. Then it also says that at the end of the battle, this boosted if I just have arc right. Okay. Yeah, so I'll bounce these both to hand. And then I will have some shield for next turn, right? So I'll presumably only go to 3. And I'll hopefully get at least a trigger that I can guard with, or maybe a heal. Or even a draw from this drive check, right? And I'll at least have these 10k shields that I can guard with, so whatever they throw at me, I'll at least be able to survive, right? I think that's a slightly better play than trying to go aggro here, since I'm already kind of behind, and I have a big pop-off next turn, since my order zone is almost set up, but... Alright, well, I guess we can guard them too. Alright, at least they didn't check anything defensively. But yeah, I don't know if I can go back to using Blaster Dart, because as you remember, Blaster Dart is a counter blast, and the build I'm using tries not to use as much counter blast at all, right? So I can get away with just the 1 counter blast, not have to go to 2 counter blasts or something like that. I could also put it in Sieg, because that's the better one to use it in, actually. Graham Grace Sieg, the new Graham Grace, because you don't use any counter blast for Graham Grace's skill. So I might actually put it into that, just for the sake of plot, I guess. So this is a guard, but it is a 1 to pass. So we'll try not to take too much damage here. Alright. Never mind. Oh man, I might actually lose this fight. Okay, gonna get Panthera. I play one of those just in case I don't see an extra research, right? But in this case, it doesn't really matter. I'm like, okay, thankfully these are grade 2s. I'm a grade 2, I should say, and these are grade 1s, so they can't do anything, but like, good god. That was really bad. And like, I barely have anything here. Yeah, like I barely have anything to put in the order zone. Right? Like I can just put multiple copies of this fucking thing. I can immediately call 1. I kind of don't want to overcall. I can go ahead and use Arkwright's new effect here. When something is played, if you have a copy in the order zone, you can put it to drop instead of bottom of deck, and then give that unit 10k. So that was the original Arkwright's effects, that they would go to the bottom of the deck, which, you know, that part of that made Arkwright really good, and that she was able to very easily pump up her numbers. Oh, I forgot I can play in order this turn. She can pump up her numbers, but the thing was that they would go to the bottom of the deck, so you would have like no deck thinning, and your deck would just be kind of garbage, right? So you'd kind of do all this deck thinning and then just immediately fuck it up as soon as you attack. But they thankfully have fixed that in this version. Why is it asking me to rest it? I guess I can just rest it for the sake of resting it. I do play that Blitz order, so there's that, but I won't do that here. Let's go ahead and I guess push some damage here. I guess it doesn't really matter swinging to his rears. Why didn't it get the plus 5k? Oh, it has to be grade 3 or greater. Okay, that's fine. I was looking at the damage for a second. I was like, wait a minute, did I just screw myself? Or no, I'm good. Right, so now I can attack here and use Arkwright's skill. So before, this used to call from the top 7. Instead, I just call now straight from the order zone. So we'll call out this, and I don't know. This allows me to take something from my order zone and add it to my hand, so I can discard that grade 3. Yeah. So we'll call these 2. And I have a bunch of effects that activate. This is Arkwright's new monster, who's been in the art of both of her cards. he doesn't get, he just gets resist. He's supposed to get crit and power, but since my opponent's on grade 2, it doesn't activate, right? So I guess Arkwright likes to go second. I mean, I don't think she wants to necessarily go second, but I guess it doesn't like hurt per se. I'm gonna go ahead and discard that. Hopefully I can get, yeah, there we go, something big, because I kind of need these attacks here to work. There we go. Oof, okay, that at least is gonna catch us up here. So I'll give this guy power, I guess. The one problem with this guy, other than the fact that your opponent has to be grade 3 or greater, is that you can also, when he attacks, you can counterblast 1 and reduce your opponent's Vanguard's power by 5k. But it's only when he attacks, it's not on place, right? So the fact that you call this out mid-battle kind of sucks, right? And it's only when it's placed by Arkwright's ability specifically that it goes off. So you're put in these awkward situations here. So we are going to go ahead and bounce this back to our hand. So we are going to be able to survive. So we managed to stabilize here, which is good. But yeah, that was kind of scary. So what I can do is I can swing in here and reduce this thing's power. Since I have all this fucking counter blast from getting mollywopped earlier, right? So we'll reduce his power to 15. So this has a slightly better chance of hitting. Oof, he threw down. That's crazy. Because the, yeah, if he just threw down the 1 trigger, it would have been just 30. Okay, he threw down another one. So hopefully this makes it really hard for him to guard. No, he just has a PG. Okay, that's fine. We forced him to do a PG instead of just doing like a trigger or something else, and he has to discard the Persona Ride, so his turn, if we get to that turn, won't be as crazy. And we have literally the most defensive hand in the world. Well, not really, but you know, pretty solid. I'm only playing the Monster PG, I'm not even playing Elementaria, because you can, you know, it's a PG you can search out from deck, why would you not, right? Looks like they got nothing else, they're just gonna go into MLB here and swing in. They can go up to 29, so we'll add these two. We'll just put us up to 38, which I think is a 2 to pass. Okay. Whew. Ooh, that's kind of scary, but that's okay. We can thankfully block that pretty easily. I think I'll use the trigger instead, and I can play this monster. Have it get power again. I don't have Persona Ride, so he's not gonna have any soul, so I might just have him get like overcalled from Arkwright's skill or something like that. But then again, I forgot I have these guys, right? So we'll see. I thankfully have 2 of the grade 3 in my drop, so I can put 2 of them, call 1, and then boost that same one with the other one, right? This really sucks. We can't ride here. I can go ahead and use Arkwright's skill first. You can use either or, I guess. You just have to remember that you can use the skills. What I mean by that is that you can use it either your set orders to put stuff into your order zone or Arkwright skill, I think, in whatever order. You just shouldn't do them all at once, right? There should be a gap in between it because you might be able to play something and then put it right back into the order zone. So we're going to actually grab this and put this into drop. I think we have enough PGs in our hand right now. See, now I can go ahead and activate this. Let's see how many monsters I have in my drop. Just 2. Okay, cool. So we can go ahead and put that into the order zone. I think I have one of this guy. Yes, I do. Okay, so I can call out one of those right now. How do I do this? So I can overcall this. Use Arkwright's skill here. Put this into drop. Basically do the exact same play that I did last turn. Use this skill to rest this order. We're gonna put this guy back into the order zone. Use this to put this guy back to the order zone. And then I can play this from my hand. Again, it's gonna stay there, unfortunately, but I can use, actually, maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. We'll see. Let's go ahead and use this, I guess, in case maybe I get the order, but I mean, what does it matter at this point? I was gonna say, because I can discard something to add a copy of this from my orders into my hand. That's what I was originally gonna do, but I don't know if that's really gonna work out. So let's go to battle here. I should have a grade 3. Right, yeah, I have 2 of the grade 3s in my order zone here. So let's go ahead and swing in. They're gonna guard with the blaster arc that they drove check. Let's go ahead and swing in here. The other good thing about the new arc rate is that she's 5 attacks. She's 5 attacks now. Before it was only 4 attacks because I think you could only call out 1 from her skill. So there were like 4 sizable attacks, right? But again, you would just end up deck thinning some. So yours is not a very good deck. Like it was good in concept, bad in execution, sort of. But that's a bit unfortunate. Let's go ahead and swing in here. Counter blast. Boulder Raid is really nice, but unfortunately I have 2 of him damaged. I didn't get to see any of him because the Boulder Raid just allows me to deck thin the deck even more and add even more monsters to my hand, right? So presumably I should just be checking the nuts constantly, right? That's like kind of how the deck is built to function, but it's not really happening in execution, but we'll see what happens. I should basically just have to play nothing from hand to an extent. Just call out monsters and whatnot. But it'll give him 5k. Like I could just do 1 for 1. Alright, just to give him the 5k. Or does it not give him? Oh no, because you only get 5k when I call him from Soul Blast 2. Okay, never mind. So that was a bit of a waste. But it's fine. I do have the other copy to give him. This. Yeah, I remember originally I started playing this and I thought that her skill to do 3 monsters at once was like insane. Like that's way too much. But then I realized how much of the monsters you put in drop by the end of your turn that it's kind of barely enough, right? Because ideally you want to like play 2 monsters from hand, put 2 to drop from that. And then do that again. So you'd have to put 2 from drop from your order zone and then call 2 from your order zone. So that's 4 total. And then for those who you want to power them up, so like 6 total, right? So you have to like put in like 6 monsters into your order zone every single turn, ideally. But let's go ahead and use this here. Increase this guy's power, or decrease, sorry. I slipped and said increase, but they're going to be able to guard, which is alright. And then we can, I guess, finish off here. The attack pattern better would have been, you know, this guy to get rid of the PG, and, or I guess no, this is better because I could have swung in. If they didn't have a PG, that would have hit crit. And then if they checked OT, you know, I still would have broken through. So, but in any case, we're gonna beat Kisato here to become the president of not only the student council but also the Vanguard club. As expected, Yuki. So the president is Yuki. Sis, what about the vice president? That's already decided. Are you sure? I have no complaints. You fought that kind of fight. Sure. It was a good fight, Kisato. I agree too. Well, watching that fight, I had no choice but to acknowledge it. You guys. Kisato, I'll step aside whenever. But I don't plan on losing. That's exactly what I want. Cool. Alright, so supposedly this time we got the deck recipe. Did I get like his vintage deck recipe? Is that what happened last time? Because I remember that's how we ended off the last episode trying to look at his deck recipe. Okay, yeah, this time it's here for real. Okay. So I guess last time I just got his like vintage deck, and that's why I couldn't see it here. So if I were to play, I guess, vintage mode, I would like see Kisato's right from the start, but that's fine. So this is Takaokao High School. But it feels strange. We're all here, but we're not officially a club yet. We need to show achievements to be officially recognized as a club. There's no other way. At least the principal agreed to that condition, so let's take it as a win. What? I just didn't want to leave without a fight. Everyone, let's win this against Masaru and his team. Yeah. But, Yui-san is really late. It's way past the meeting time. What's going on? It's a message from Yui. Yuki, I'm sorry. My mom got injured. Is she okay? It's not life-threatening or anything like that, but I have to watch the shop instead of her. That's okay, don't worry about us. I'm just glad your mom's okay. Yuki, I'm really sorry about missing the test match for V-Nation. It's okay, we'll manage somehow. Alright, I'll be cheering for you all. So, we'll have to do this without Yui, but let's do our best. Let's win for sure. Yes. Are you sure? Leave it to me. No lose intended. That's not what I meant. We're short a member now. We'll still have to do this. Everyone, let's go. No, I'm overthinking it. You're here, Yuki. Mika, nice to see you today. I've been waiting, Rawson. Doji, let's have a good fight. I'm gonna win. That's Masarukita's famous line. I'm Magaku Nijo. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm Tatsuki Bunko. Nice to meet you. I'm Kisato Kuga. Likewise. It's been a while since we've fought as a team. Huh? Yui isn't here, is she? Yui had an urgent matter and couldn't make it today. So, we'll be fighting with 4 members? Ichiroji, that's not gonna work. Today's the V-Nation test match. If it were last man standing, maybe, but, right? That's right, V-Nation is 5-on-5. Win-loss record competition. And the real thing, you'd lose by default. I knew it'd come to this. What should we do, sis? I'll join if you want. Whoa. You're Otowa Dosaki. I'm a member of the Vanguard Club too, so there's no problem, right? I've been looking for you. Nice to meet you, Ichiroji. Alright. 2 wins and 1 loss. If we win the next one, we win. I'm counting on you.
Yeah.
I'm Tatsuki Bunki. Bunkyo. Good luck and have fun. Hey, why do you look so happy? Winning and losing isn't everything. I'm here to enjoy the fight. That's what Vanguard taught me. Enjoying it? For whom? It might sound exaggerated, but for all the fighters who play Vanguard. For someone else, huh? They're the same way. Sorry, but I'm gonna play Vanguard only for myself. That's how I've always won. I'll prove my Vanguard to you. Here I come. Alright, so we're actually using Otowa Dosaki here again. And I've actually got her deck, so we can actually show that off this time around, or at least her Vanguard, right? Not specifically her deck. I honestly, this deck can do either or. I guess I get the max value going second, considering some of the things I have, so I guess I'll go second. So yes, this is the new Hellfire Dragon Werbel Dragon. So this is a Deer Days currently exclusive card. You can only play this in Deer Days. It is not releasing in either English or in Japanese, right? It's not releasing in the upcoming sets that we know of. I'm assuming this will come out in set 9, possibly, as like a double rare or something, who knows? But this is just a standalone Vanguard, similar to like Graham Grace. And it has some pretty interesting effects we'll get into in a bit. So let's go ahead and actually, I could keep this hand, to be honest. This looks pretty solid, especially considering I'm going second. But it's a really cool Vanguard. I've been messing around with it since I got Deer Days, because I remember it existed. That and the new Fire Neil and then the new Graham Grace are here in the game early, which is really cool. I have not touched the Graham Grace. I did not realize that's how that worked. Okay, that's fine. So I changed my D skill from the defensive play or whatever it was that makes this here 5th damage is like a draw or a heal. and instead I'm playing this one for orders. I thought it was in my starting hand I would get an order, but it's my first draw of the game I get an order. So now I have 2 copies of Drag Resonance in my hand, but that's fine. That's fine. We have an okay hand for this game, as long as he doesn't like slap down something crazy. We should be okay here. We have double Persona Ride, which is like alright. That's a bit unfortunate. Not that it matters because I would have hit over it, but if I do check a trigger, I do become 20k. Thanks to the Varilla grade 1 here, who gets 2k for each of your rear guards. We kind of need to check something here, but we're not, unfortunately. So unlucky, but I can go ahead and talk about Warbill. So this guy's super cool. So at the beginning of your main phase, this energy charge is 3. So you basically have 6 energy to play with for your entire turn, which is insane, right? I was originally, when I was building this, I was building it in a way where like I was using cards that use energy. So you know, you get all this energy, you might as well use it. But instead, I ended up building it, which I think is the way that it's going to be actually played, where you just use his energy on him, right? Because he has a second skill that says you can energy blast 3, act, not once per turn, and just choose any opponent's rear guard and retire it. So you can just go ahead and blow up your entire opponent's board, right, if you have the energy, which is pretty cool. So you can minimum retire 2 cards per turn, which is really cool, for basically free. And I think there's better cards that I can use with it that I'll have to like see if I can look up. Because basically, like, I'm thinking like a lot of these like Eugene specific cards that say like, oh, if your Vanguard is, or if your opponent only has X amount of rear guards or something like that, or if something was retired this turn or something like that, you can actually use a lot of those cards because you could just very easily retire. Because this fixes a lot of the problems that something like Eugene has, where it has to like play rear guards in order to rest them, or play another card in order to retire. This just retires on its own, right? On its own, the Vanguard retires, and it's like literally for free, right? So you get a guaranteed 1 free retire because you energy charge 3, which allows you to just instantly energy blast 3, right, for its effect. So it's pretty crazy. But it doesn't stop there. He also has another effect that says, well, you can keep energy blasting, right, to retire, but if you don't retire anything, you can actually give him power instead, right? Which is kind of cool. I wish you drew a card, but he gets 5k, and if your opponent's grade 3, he gets 10k instead if you don't retire anything. So then he has another skill that says when he attacks, if you energy blasted 6, which is super easy to do because you get 6 energy in, you know, this turn in total for any unit's ability. So it doesn't count orders. That's kind of important. You can counter blast 1, stand it, and he gets -2 drive. But you can then soul blast out a copy of itself to give him a drive for this turn. Which was why I was originally playing the Koltha Blaze order to get some deck thin and also, you know, put Persona Ride into soul. But I ended up being stuck between which order I wanted to play, either the Drag Renaissance, since it's a restanding Vanguard, it gives 10k to the front row, or the Koltha Blaze, which looks at top 7, basically puts something to soul, puts it into your hand if it's the same name as your Vanguard, or lets you call it out if you have a card on board or in your soul with the same name, right? The Koltha Blaze order is really good, but I don't know. I ended up just sticking to Drag Resonance because I feel like it's like Koltha Blaze is nice and it sets you up, but Drag Resonance gives you a much bigger payoff with all of your, you know, units being really big, right? I don't, no, this is still Sage 2 or medium level Tatsuki, so he's not like gonna do anything crazy here. I don't have anything to discard for next turn, which really sucks, if I'm being honest with y'all. I might discard Persona Ride. I don't really want to go to 3, so we'll take this second hit, guard the first one, and hopefully I can draw into something like the energy cycle. If not, I guess I can discard the Drag Resonance. The heal is kind of nice because now I literally don't go down or go up any more damage, right? So I can go down to 1 here. Let's see what our draw gives me. That kind of sucks. Well, I am at 1 here, So I could just discard this. Cool, she actually has a line for it. I don't have Otowa unlocked technically, so I can only use her in the story, which is kind of funny. So we're going to use the skill here of the Varilla grade 2, Rising Star, who actually lets us search for the top 7 at a grade 2. So actually, I'm going to grab Latifa so I can build a board here. Then we go to main phase, and Werebarrow's effect activates. She doesn't say a name for it, that's fine. We're going to get 3 energy real quick. I'm going to go ahead and play this Drag Renaissance here before I forget. But yeah, I can very easily just use its skill here. Doesn't have a name for that either. Okay, that's fine. And we can just go ahead and retire. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to retire as much as I want to. So let's see if I can... Yeah, I don't think I can make him like intercept. So, because I can clear up a column here to power up my Lefetas. And then I can clear up this column. Maybe he'll intercept for some reason. So I just energy blasted 9 to clear up the whole board, which is pretty cool. Now that since I played an Order, I can go ahead and use this. I don't use Soul this turn. That's a bit unfortunate. We can just go ahead and call this out just for some deck thin. We'll put this in the back row for now. And we'll call this here. Do that again. And there we go. That's what I was hoping to see. We can keep actually. We'll keep what's his face there, right for now, in case I have to move him up or something. And then yeah, we can just go to combat here. Swing in 13. They're gonna not intercept, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, this deck I feel is like really interesting because it's just like really open. You can do a lot of cool things with it. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, I feel. Especially because just the Vanguard skill is so good, right? Like you can play like Best Harvest with this, draw 2 every single turn, right? If you play Best Harvest, like there's just so much you can do. She didn't. Damn it, I skipped it because I thought she wasn't gonna say anything, damn it. Alright. Sometimes, yeah, because sometimes they say like attack names or effect names or something like that, but she didn't say anything the first time, so I assumed there was nothing. I guess we can, I mean, I don't know if it'll make a difference. I don't have a drive. She will unfortunately not get as much power as I want here. She'll only get 5k because of this one rear guard I wasn't able to get rid of, but let's go ahead and pop that from his hand. And yeah, just the way that Dragon Empire is set up, you can actually do a lot of cool things. It actually has like a lot of cool options, right? Like Drag Resonance is really cool. Shinri works with Drag Resonance. This restands, right? This guy works with it because you retire easily, so you can just draw. I was originally using Mid Hat. Mid Hat is cool because, you know, whenever something restands, you can retire him and draw. And he works with Foul Heart, which is really cool. But the attack pattern is typically you attack with the Vanguard first, so and then restand. So Mid Hat, like you weren't able to like boost rears with him. So I took him out for the Burnia here instead. And just yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of different ways to go with the deck, which is just really cool. And it's like it's a pretty good Vanguard, right? It's free restand. Basically, great, because the only thing that counterblast is this if you build it that way. Free retires. You can easily retire 2 things. I was playing this with some friends in the Discord, and yeah, they say like Ura, which I guess means face down. Ura bindo? Interesting. I didn't know they specified that it binds face down. Alright. So he's going to Persona right here, use his skill here. He probably has, I'm assuming, different names in Soul, right? Is that 2 gun rams? So he has 2 gun rams and 2 ponies, but he just took them out. Okay. Yeah, and he has nothing else. Alright, cool. So retiring the board was great there. He does have the 13... So he is going to be able to get the power here, but that's fine. We're going to be able to go into our turn, energy charge 3 normally, and then start our turn, our main phase, and energy charge another 3 after that. So we're just we champ chilling. Gonna get a front trigger, which is very nice. We cannot just intercept, unfortunately. I could take the hit, but yeah, it's fine. We can go to 3. He's still not able to heal, so we still heal block him, which is good. I'm gonna lose the Shinri, which would have been kind of nice to draw, but that's fine. I don't really have that much space on board, and I have a Shinri in hand, right? So you can stand here. Yeah, we're playing the Meteor Flare. I saw a list online from someone that was playing this, and they used the Meteor Flare, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. Because it's just one of those cards, right? Like, it works for retiring, but you typically can't use it, because a lot of decks that do retire or have removal are kind of costly. It makes it kind of hard, but this is just like a pure retire deck, which is really cool. So I think there's definitely ways to optimize this. I don't know if I'm playing as best as I can. Oh, I played the wrong card. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Whoops. I was trying to play this because they both look red. That was a waste. That's fine. Let's go and play this. So, not that it matters, but Shinri's active. Oh, no. Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say, not that it matters, but I'm going to end up retiring, right? So it doesn't matter. And then, right, like, that's another thing. Like, Shinri works with your opponent having 1 or less rear guards. This activates Shinri, like, almost all the time, right? Retiring 2 every single turn for free. Your opponent cannot stop it, right? Like, they have no way to stop this effect. It's like, I don't know. I think it's a really good base Vanguard that can only be helped by more support in the future. It also doesn't have like a ride line, but I don't know what a ride line would really do for it. I would imagine if we're thinking, you know, Bushiroad logic, they'd probably have the Vanguard, the ride line energy blast, because they think like you'll get the energy back. So I probably wouldn't like the real ride line, so I'm just using the Varela, which is honestly the best ride line in all of Dragon Empire, right? Oh, okay. She just says like, let's go or something like that, essentially. We're gonna Soul Blast out the original copy to get drives, and then we're gonna go use Drag Renaissance here to power up the front row by 10k more. And then we're gonna swing in with another drive. I kind of want to try like a boost package, so that these guys, so I can play these guys in the back row, because they continuous. If your opponent has no rear guards and they're great through a greater, this gets 10k, so this can become a 20k booster. So we can hit like I could have like a little mini Veldarok situation there. But I don't know if I'll find the space for that. Is that, no, he still has other cards in hand. He's only at 4, yeah. Come on. Yeah, the only thing is, like, getting the right orders and, like, the amount of orders and whatnot, because they are kind of clunky. It doesn't have an early game the way I have it built, because most of these cards you don't want to play until, you know, you're on grade 3, which kind of sucks, right? I think if you can definitely build it with an early game, right? I think it's definitely capable of doing that. I just currently don't have it that way. That's just why I was talking about the Coulter Blaze order, because that lets you play your Latifahs on turn 2, which then allows you to, you know, actually build a board and rush your opponent with it. You actually get an option to also call out your Shinris, right? Because you can put your Shinri into Soul, and then you can call Shinri from deck to then activate her skill again, which is really cool. Because the Coulter Blaze order, you know, if you have a card in your Soul with the same name as the card that you look at from top 7, you can call it out. So we're sitting here pretty, you know, pretty. Gonna go ahead and Persona Ride here again, I believe, right? She already Persona Ride, yeah. And I did retire all of those cards that make him Soul Charge. So, oh, he's gonna deck us some out. Never mind. He's gonna go out in his own terms. Fair enough. Sure thing. Sure thing, buddy. Deck yourself out. I'm here for it. I'm your biggest fan. And he hit the draw trigger. That's unfortunate. So, pretty easy victory for Otowa here. A fight reveals everything about a person. You wanted to win as much as I did. I've told you. For me, Vanguard isn't about winning and losing. I enjoyed fighting with you. Can I ask you one thing? With your skill, why do you quit be a pro? That's something I want to know too. Huh? I'm here because I'm searching for the fighter and the Vanguard that gave me a reason to quit. So until I find them, I'll keep playing Vanguard. I'm looking forward to fighting you again at V Nation. That was amazing, Otowa. I can't believe you beat Tatsuki-san. You're Dosaki, right? Just call me Otowa. Then call me Yuki. Hey Otowa, why didn't you help us? You even lied about being a member of the Vanguard Club. I happened to pass by when you was on the phone. Yuki, I'm sorry. My mom got hurt. It's kind of shady, but okay. I see. She like... Turns out Otowa went beat up Yui's mom so she could take her place. Besides, I've been looking for you a long time, Yuki. What do you mean? We'll talk about it later. It's 2-2. My sister wins this. Good luck. Leave it to me. Now, show me your Vanguard, Yuki. Interesting. Alright, gonna get the decent skill for drawing Persona. That's kind of nice. And I guess we have to fight Gosetsu for the final round. What does she mean by saying she's been looking for me? Yuki? What's wrong? No, it's nothing. Come on, it's not like you to worry. I don't know what you're thinking, but this is a test for V Nation. I won't hold back. That's right. If I don't win this fight, we won't even have a club, let alone V Nation. Alright, now that's the face I want to see. Show me your full power Vanguard, Yuki. Alright, let's take on Gosetsu here. So I'm using Arkwright again. Just going with the narrative that Yuki saw. What the rest of the team was playing is like, alright, let me pivot to something a little bit more different here. Yeah, we can put those two back. Right. I did change up the list a tiny bit since the last time, the last fight, because I know before that we used Warbell. Before this we used Warbell, and before this it was Arkwright, but it's slightly different this time. I basically took that grade 1. I changed my D skill. I don't remember if I did that for the previous one, but I think I changed it for the Warbell, because I changed that build up a little bit too, I think. But so let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and discard this. I basically just took out the grade 1 that gives you shield. I put him at 1 copy, and I put in 3 of the grade 2 that gives you shield, just because he also on place lets you put something monster from drop into order zone, and that's just kind of useful in certain situations where like I need to call him. And I only have like 1 copy of like the grade 3 monster, so I can call the grade 2, use its effect first to put a copy of the grade 3 monster that, let's say I overcalled, into the order zone, and then trigger Arkwright to put that same card back into drop to power up the other monster I called, if that makes sense, right? So this is the grade 2 that I'm talking about. I kind of already have a PG in hand, but you can't add PGs to your hand other than with the skill of the order. So we're just gonna add that PG to our hand and just keep it there nice and tight for later. One of the best cards here is the Boulderade that I can never see as consistent. I saw one game where I saw him like all 4 copies and it was just bliss. But also he has a good chance of missing, which really sucks. And that's part of the reason why I've added the grade 2 monster, right, to make Boulderade hit more often. Because he says, if you have a card in your order zone, or I think specifically like a set order. Yeah, if you have a set order, at least 1. At the end of the battle that it boosts, you can go to Soul, look at top 5, add a grade 2 or greater card, or a set order, right? So if I see any of the grade 1s or triggers, I obviously can't add those. But I can add, well, add the grade 3 monster because I already have Persona Ride. But oftentimes, right, I'll hit like a bunch of PGs and like triggers or something like that, and I can't add any of them, and he just kind of goes to waste, which really sucks. But more often than not, he actually hits, especially with this build, which I just have so many grade 2s, right? I feel like I have too many to the point where I really have no boosters outside of Boulderade, which might be a bit of a problem, but I feel like it doesn't matter because like it leaves me, you know, I need less stuff to call on the board, right? I don't have to call as many cards. It just means my early game is not as good as it could be. I really don't do anything in the early game. But it means later on I don't really need to call anything because Arkwright powers up everything to get 10k, which is about as good as a booster anyway. At least normal boosters, so. And also lets you have to commit less for a turn when going up against like retired decks and stuff like that, right? So I feel like that works out better as we get crit by Osetsu here. Hopefully we can hit a draw or a heal to balance that out. Why is this fella 15k in the background? Oh, he played this to give it 5k. Okay, right. I forgot that he gives himself 2k. Ugh, and I lost the Arkwright order too? Jesus. Alright, and this thing is gonna be 25, so I can thankfully guard this with this. Whew. Rough turn, already pushed to 3 by Gosetsu here. Let's see what we can do with this. We can at least, you know, play this guy out, poke a little bit to even out the playing field, and I can also use him to intercept and have some shield value. And I also have access now to the Blitz Order now that I'm on grade 2, so that should help me not get demolished next turn. But we'll see how this plays out. Pretty good options there, but I'll grab these two because again I already have Persona Ride in hand. Yeah, we can add that one to hand. Put the grade 3 into drop. We can go ahead and call this. Yeah, call this. Use its skill here. Yeah, sure. Put itself into order zone. And then use the skill of the research order to rest itself. Put the grade 3 into soul. I'm sorry, into the order zone, and do the same thing again, right? So now we have access to that as well as this guy that we can power up next turn. And we can put this guy into the order zone next turn after I intercept with them, and then do the same thing, right? So let's go ahead. Go swinging here. Let's, I guess, poke in here for 10. I would like to get him to at least 3, so I can do a lot of pushing next turn. Since I get 5 attacks here. So he's going to go ahead and intercept, which is good, so he gets rid of that thing, because that can actually restand if it attacks a rear guard. That is a bit... That's like a good thing and a bad thing, if I'm being honest. At least I can PG, I guess, and discard that if I really need to. Because having access to this is nice, because I get to use its effect and throw him out and whatnot. But it just kind of sucks because it's a grade 3 in hand, right? Alright, so thankfully it is just medium level of Flagberg, so we're not even going to see the restands here, but we do have some sizable attacks. I don't have a trigger, honestly, which is a bit unfortunate. I kind of wanted to guard. I guess we'll do this. I had wanted to guard the Flagberg attack. I guess I can use the Blitz Order because it's going to be 33. So it'll be a 2 to pass. So we'll take this one. Hope for a draw. Or that, I guess. And then here we can chance it. Maybe we'll chance it. Because he only gets CB1 draw, right? Since he only did 3 attacks, this being the 3rd one. So it's 1 to pass here. Nah, I'm not gonna chance it. I'm not gonna chance it. You can very easily crit sack and guess out of here. Let's get this grade 3 out of my hand. And let's just PG this. Save the Blitz Order. Okay, he's got a PG in hand. Alright, I could have just chanced it. I had a feeling, but I just had to play it safe there. Right. So let's see. Not the craziest turn. I only have 1 of this grade 2. So I guess I could discard the other one. I mean, I could do a thing where I can power up both of them, to be honest. So let's discard this to ride into Innocent Monster in Paradise, I think. Right? Yes, in Paradise. So she has the Paradise thing like Eva. Arkwright. Let's go ahead and use the set order first. We had to go second, so we can actually Energy Blast 7 to draw. Okay. That's a lot of good options, actually. I think I'll grab these two. Sure. So what I can do here is I can call this guy, use Arkwright skill, put this into drop, power him up. Then we can go ahead and use Arkwright skill here, Energy Blasting 2, take up to 3 monsters, so him again, put him into the order zone, and then now I can play this one, but I kind of wanted to play, that's fine. It seems wasteful, but I kind of wanted to play the grade 3. Overcall it and then put it into the other zone. It's just I had the option to call it, but I guess it is something I can use to discard for the PG, right? So I guess that's fine. Let's go ahead and put all this stuff back. So we'll put that into the order zone. Let's go ahead and put this guy into the order zone. And we'll go ahead and put the PG, even though there's no value in the PG being in the order zone. But it doesn't really like do anything else right now, right? Like I can't do anything with the PG and drop anyways. So we'll put it in the order zone so that we can at least rest the order. Okay, that's actually kind of good. Let's go ahead and call this too. So yeah, so we can rest the order. So the blitz order is now 43k, or you know, 30 plus my Vanguard will be 43k, right? So we can swing in here with this monster, which is basically a pseudo. I shouldn't say pseudo, but he's a whatchamacallit, Boulder Axe clone, the Vanguard card. It just gets 5k retired and draw, which is kind of nice. The second, this is I think technically the first Boulder Axe clone, because there's one in Lyrical as well. Do that, draw ourselves a crit, which is fine. That is good shield value that we kind of need in this turn. Let's go ahead and power up again. I'm gonna take this, go to 4, or draw trigger, which is a bit unfortunate because now they not only get the power buff, but they also draw cards. So now they have a lot more cards in hand. Let's go ahead and retire this to draw 1. We're gonna draw into, okay, that's fine. I did not want to draw into another trigger because this whole deck's main power really is in deck compression, right? It can actually accomplish that now, which is nice. Let's kind of blast this, but it doesn't seem as good for some reason, right? I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems kind of odd. I think we'll add these two, right? Draw another card here. So now that I'm going second, my opponent's on grade 3. This guy not only gets resist and the effect that I can lower their Vanguard's power, but he also gets 10k and a crit. So I put the grade 3 into drop, and then next turn we can actually do double grade 3 if we get that far, right? I'll put this guy into drop as well, power him up. And it's a good thing we played this, because now we can actually hit over. They're actually not going to use their PG, and they're going to do a 2 to pass here. Ooh, I did deck then a lot. I did deck then a lot. Yeah, whatever, we'll go all in. Think I ain't got no balls, Gosetsu? I'm gonna show you my balls right freaking... No, okay. I guess not, never mind. You're right, Gosetsu. I ain't got no fucking balls. Alright, so at the very least we can swing in here. Let's go ahead and... This is technically a monster, so I guess we can still blast that one out. We can swing in with this guy, not only threaten lethal, but also we can counterblast one, lower its power, so that this guy is not just a 5k shield. They're gonna PG this one. Okay, discarding a grade 3, fair enough. So I might as well push him to 5 here. Or I can attack his rear guard. But then that makes this kind of pointless, aside from like the mind game, but this is a CPU, so it doesn't matter. I think we'll attack the rear guard, actually, because I can very easily push, you know, I have all the grade 3s, and I have Persona, right, so I can very easily push lethal from 4, which is good. And we have a really good hand, I believe. Minus him, yeah, persona writing and actually doing flag break things. We're kind of in a bad spot, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just going to be swing pass. No, okay, he managed to get these two guys, but these guys don't restand. So they're kind of whatever. This guy does get 5k. So it is going to be 35, which is obnoxious if I'm being real with y'all. So I think I'll take this. Go to 5, shut off his heals, and have enough counterblast for both monsters. Not that it matters, I guess, but have enough counterblast for both monsters and also Arkwright, right? So they're gonna go ahead and use this guy, CB1 to get like 5k. Cool beans. We'll slap down these two here. And we'll see if we can use the bullet order, maybe? I don't know. I mean, I'll probably just PG, honestly, to get this out of my hand. Yeah, that's probably the safe play. I am planning on returning to streaming the day that this comes out. We'll see if those plans change, right? But I was gonna see if I can stream some of this game and this deck specifically in ranked. So I'll see how much of a false sense of like this deck is good I'll go into in ranked. We'll see. Yeah, because if I had used the order, it would have been 2 to pass, which he could have almost broken through with a crit, which would have been scary, but should be okay. So he has 10k shields from that grade 1, and then he has a critical trigger in hand, and then some other cards that I don't believe I know. Alright, this is one of the rare situations where I actually get a booster. So we're gonna go ahead and call, ride Arkwright. It's too late to call Final Turn, damn it. Let us see. Alright, so I can call this here. Move this back. Call this here. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. God damn it. I always fucking accidentally activated skill. I guess I don't have extra copies of it. Okay, never mind. Thought I had a copy of it. I should have checked beforehand. That's on me. I'm gonna be real mad if it's in drop. That's not. Alright. So we're just mainly gonna put in all the grade 3s here. And then use the order here to get the last grade 3. Oh, it's already there. Okay. Never mind. I guess we'll just grab, I don't know, this guy. He's good. I like him a lot. Seen like all of my unit cards, actually, now that I think about it. I don't have too many, I should have a lot of triggers in deck, to be honest. And we're gonna deck thin even more in a second here. So if I check here, I have 2 crits, 3 draws, and 3 heals. So 6, 8, 8. Half of my deck is triggers right now. So that's some insane deck compression. So I do have Persona Ride. So I think I will do one of these. Push super hard to close out the game here. And swing here. It's gonna get the 5k, thankfully. And he's just gonna take that first attack there. We are gonna boost and use the boulder raids here so that we can deck them even more. So any of these remaining units that we have, let's get them the hell out. And just deck compress the hell out of this deck, alright? So we're going to go ahead and guard that with the trigger, and basically their drive track, I think, from last turn, unless this is a different critical trigger. Okay, I was going to use Boulder Raid again, put him into Soul here, and we did get a hit this time, perfect. Yeah, so it sucks when you see Boulder Raid off Boulder Raid, because you can't add him. That would be insanely good if true, right? Let's go ahead here and Counterblast 1. So I actually have 4 copies of the Great... Oh, they have to be different names. Ah, damn it. I had a feeling like that you couldn't do that. Is that really what it is? No, I want to see Arkwright skill. I'm gonna shit with this guy. Yeah, I guess so. I guess she's just different names. Wow. So you really can't. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I thought you can use the grade 3 twice, because I remember that being a thing that was talked about. But I guess you can't do that. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad I grabbed this guy as a contingency plan. But let's put that away. Which sucks, right? Because, like, the other good thing about this guy is he has resist, but that never really comes up for me. At least not when I've been playing. The little bit that I've been playing the deck, right? That hasn't come up. I know I've seen a lot of play in Premium because, you know, him just getting free resist is pretty good. Being a grade 3 and whatnot in Dimension Police, but I don't know. He can only use his effect when called by the skill of Arkwright. So he's kind of useless otherwise. Like, he's at, you know, other than that, he's just like a 23k beater if I happen to hit with Arkwright's skill, right? Like, when I call him from hand. Otherwise, there's no point for me to call him from hand. And then when I call him from hand... Sorry, when I call him from the order zone, I can only call one at once. So. Almost makes me want to play like one less copy or something like that, but... I often don't get to the... I've never gotten to this point when I had all 4, but it's a good thing at least that I don't have to worry about getting all 4. So he does have the second PG here, so... But we're going to lower his attack to 8, and then now increase my card's attack here to 45 and a crit. An additional critical. So that's going to be a tall ask if you don't have a PG here, especially with one card in hand. Even if you hit the heal with your OT, it's not going to be enough here. So we're going to be able to beat Gosatsu-san and finally pass to legitimize the Omni Academy Vanguard Club and be able to take part in V-Nation. Yuki, can I ask you something? Honestly, you were completely different from the shop tournament. It might sound like an excuse, but I feel like I had no chance of winning. That's because the fight was crucial for me to establish our club. And I want to participate in V-Nation to understand what my mother was seeing. Your mother? She was a Vanguard fighter. A professional fighter. No way. So, I really wanted to win. I see. Your goals are what make you strong, Yuki. You need to step up, or we need to step up our game, right? Absolutely. We lost today, but we'll win in the actual event. Masaru, we don't plan on losing. I knew it. It's that Vanguard.